Greetings, internetizens. This is Elmerthien playing Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. In the last episode, the professor got turned into a golden statue and lost an arm. And now we've got a repeat defendant, Maya. They're arrested. Oh, the spooky masked witch appeared. The one that looks like she might be the final boss. Well, no, what happened to the alchemist, so this case is no mystery. Same place, same magic trick. This time, her luck ran out and she dropped that magic scepter. This time, same magic trick? What? You think Maya got the alchemist? The truth obscured by a twisted ruse. The witch couldn't vanish, but it confused. It happened because the professor unraveled the mystery behind all these witches. The same magic trick was used. Did the alchemist got turned into a statue? They are referring to an incident from 3 months ago. Much like this incident, a man lost his life to witchcraft in that very room. But was he turned into a statue? Was the goat the murder weapon? It was the master of that residence, Sir Newton Belduke, the alchemist. He suffered death by strangulation. Finger marks were left on his neck. And you don't have the tech to dust for prints, right? Not the goat then. He had locked himself in his study, and the key was still in his pocket. In other words, no one could have entered that room. The perpetrator disappeared from a locked room, just like in this case. We've got teleports. A large amount of powdered medicine was spilled all over the floor. Powdered medicine? Sir Belduke was an alchemist. He possessed various medicinal concoctions. Due to the presence of that powder, had anyone entered that room, clear footprints would have remained, yet there were none. Oh, levitation, telekinesis. No. Mage hand. Mage hand, can it be used for attacking? Oh, Big B's hand can be used for fighting, so mage hand probably as well. That's the kind of mystery that the professor would have loved to solve. As there were 2 unnatural circumstances to Sir Belduke's death. The culprit's disappearance from a locked room, and the fact that they appeared not to have walked on the floor. It's almost as if they flew away. Oh, maybe they could walk on walls. Oh, maybe it was a wall-crawling hand. With, like, I don't know, just a hand that acts like a spider. In other words, it couldn't have been the Demir magic that was used in my case the other day. Seems like the killer levitated above the floor, strangled Belduke and vanished into thin air. But what does that have to do with this trial? It has been 3 months since that murder, and Maya was not in town. Despite that, we still haven't been able to find the witch responsible. Could it be the teacher? Could it be a masked lady, who may or may not be Darkclaw? But now, having eluded us for so long, that witch has finally been brought here before this court. We will have justice. What? No way! Now he thinks Maya killed the alchemist too! We weren't even here back then! But it's not like I can explain that to him. Alright, extra universal shenanigans. Well then, why don't you interrogate the witnesses? Now that you are aware of the connection between the two murders.
Objection!
You can't be serious! 3 months ago we weren't even... Defender, you may interrogate the witnesses. May their testimonies lead us to the truth. Do we know?
Hold it!
You're talking about Mr. Belluke's murder, which took place in a locked room? Real alright. Everyone was talking about it. People don't say this out loud, but you know, they're thinking it too, Scuttlehand? I don't have the faintest idea that what you're talking about. I made it clear as day. He was an alchemist. An alchemist? Alchemists just got magic, ain't it? Sir Belluke was a man. Only a woman can be a witch. What's more, witchcraft has nothing to do with alchemy. They're different somehow. You were on the way to discover chemistry. Alchemy is the mysterious art of manipulating the forces of nature, or so it is said. Well, it sounds a lot like magic to me. Alchemists incomprehensible to regular people. So magic, really? Cleric's third law. And you know, a couple of days before a witch got him, there was the lightning that struck. Oh, but that was a sign that the witch was coming for him, maybe? Lightning? What you're asking? Because I like telling that one. All of a sudden, like a bolt from the blue sky, there was this bolt from the sky, only it wasn't blue, and the bolt wasn't blue, and that's weird. But it's pretty normal that the sky is grey when there's a storm. And rain streaming down like a grey fog. The rain banging on your umbrella, competing with the thunder and the wind. The sky lit up and turned blood red. And then out of nowhere, an old-looking bell tower appeared in a burst of flames. Makes you realize Mother Nature's pretty powerful stuff. What? No. Lightning doesn't just spawn bell towers, that was magic. You have strayed off the topic at hand, witness. This is a courthouse, not an inn. Save your thrilling stories for later.
Hold it!
Would you care to elaborate on that, Miss Brimstone? You could say I'm a scholar, and my knowledge is vast and diverse. I know a thing or two about witchcraft. Will you be my new sidekick? Therefore, I have a very good idea of the type of magic that must have been used this time. I mean, unless you're the witch, who could be the new sidekick, the new, you know, the new high-end character of the team. The magic behind this mysterious figure that appeared out of nowhere, glided through the air and vanished after making the kill? Indeed, yes, and the witch's scepter confirms my theory. A brilliant deduction. I am honored to have studied under an excellent teacher such as yourself, Miss Brimstone. How old is she? She was his teacher? Actually, I guess that kinda explains a lot. We can't see their age. Our occult crime analysts have arrived at the same conclusion. Mr. Wright, I found it! The page about the purple magic gem. The spell's called Famalia. Famalia? What does it do? The spell Famalia, bound within this purple gem, is used to summon a familiar. Oh, those bird things. Familiars appear out of nowhere, glide through the air, and vanish when their task is accomplished. They are evil, bloodthirsty spirits used by witches to perform outrageous crimes. Evil spirits? Are you saying that the witch used a familiar to... It was a familiar that took Sir Belduke's life, and now it has appeared again. Sir Silkhat was probably trying to ward off the evil spirit with his knife. Knives don't work on ghosts unless they're in a body, 'cause killing the body will kick the ghost out. But what good is a knife against an occult creature? It completed the task given to it by the witch and promptly vanished. Can they cast spells? Thus bringing us to the conclusion that Sir Belduke and Sir Silkhat were both killed by the same witch. What? What an unexpected turn of events! The two incidents have been shown to be connected, due to the same witch's scepter having been used in both cases. Updated. Oh, this is terrible! Now Maya is accused of 2 murders. It possesses a physical form, but it's completely weightless. Magical floating creature. It's probably made of magic. Oh dear me, I was right as always. This gruesome murder will be in the next exam. Make sure to take notes. Now, I shall divulge what really happened. We are all ears, Miss Brimstone. The headmaker was pointing the knife at the witch's familiar. Okay.
Hold it!
Did you actually see the familiar? Oh dear me. No, I did not. When that boy opened the door, the familiar had just disappeared. Had the boy opened the door sooner, no doubt we would all have seen it. Well, let me check again. What is there about familiars? Summons forth a shadow creature. Oh, it's not actually a ghost. he were my student, I would have made sure to teach him not to dilly-dally. He's talking about Luke, huh? And when you entered the room, you saw the victim pointing at something. Pointing a knife, no less. A knife. As I told you before, it was a sharp, glittering knife. You saw something shiny. But are you sure it wasn't after the fact? The poor man thought a knife would work on a familiar. Had he attended my classes, he would have known better. In any case, there's no proof that the victim actually had a knife. It's certain now that the professor and Maya weren't facing each other. Next witness, you may sing us your testimony.
Hold it!
It's a beautiful song, sure. But would you mind testifying in a bit more of a comprehensible way? As you wish, Sir Musically Impaired Defender. A certain man was killed some 3 months ago. You mean Sir Newton Belduke, the alchemist, right? It was a locked-room murder, accomplished through the use of a certain mysterious spell. And that same magic has been used in this case too. The witch that committed the crime disappeared without a trace. Oh, maybe you're suggesting that the familiar was used for a distraction, but the witch would have to be there too to cast the spell, right? Unless, oh wait, maybe they can cast through their familiars. She hasn't been found to this day, huh? That's pretty much what I expressed in my song. I knew all that already. Even a peerless bard such as myself may not always be completely up to date with all the latest information. I'm a glamour bard, not a lore bard, like that other guy. Isn't that so, Cracker? You understand, don't you, my peerless feathery partner? Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! What an adorable bird! He's imitating you this time, Mr. Wright. I'm being parroted by a parrot. Well... We capture all witches, without exception. This one may have been at large longer than others, but she will not escape us. Next witness, continue testifying.
Hold it!
And that mystery is? The witch's identity, of course. Can't believe I'm getting stared down by a little kid. Don't get me wrong. I want to believe you and Maya. But I saw the witch's scepter on the floor. No one else could have dropped it. When I saw the professor, everything went black in front of my eyes. But I did hear the scepter fall to the floor. There was a witch in that room, and it had to be Maya. Look, if only the professor were here to tell me what to believe in. What do you think, Mr. Wright? We need to dig down to the truth as soon as possible, for Maya and for Rook too. I hope we can do it. It would be easier if there were some clear contradictions in their testimonies, but I haven't noticed anything. Perhaps this time we should take a step back and observe each witness while they're not the one speaking. The 4 of them are listening to each other's testimonies. It may give me an opportunity to question them on one another's testimonies and find gaps in their story. You're full of good ideas, Speller. How about we give that a shot? Sure.
Hold it!
No way!
Hang on!
Is everything alright, Luke? You seem to be in deep thought about something. No, it's not right at all! Is there something in Miss Brimstone's testimony that you'd like to comment on? That's what I keep telling you! The professor wouldn't point a knife at anyone! Not even a monster? Dearie, dearie me, what an impertinent child! I'm telling you, I saw a knife. I distinctly saw the glint of a sharp blade.
Objection!
At any rate, as we can see now, the victim's arm is missing. As such, there is no proof that he had a knife.
Objection!
That is but a mere detail. It matters not. A mere detail matters not? Oh my. Anyhow, I wonder, where could that missing arm be? Yeah, it ought to be looked into. The wolves? I don't know. That's right. The arm. Wasn't it found at the crime scene? I swear I never saw it there. Oh, golden arm, where can you be? Reveal yourself, listen to my plea. Oh, dearie, dearie me, I'm afraid even I did not notice it. It is indeed astonishing that the arm could have disappeared from the crime scene. The professor will need his arm when he returns to normal. It's an all-out robbery. Go and investigate it. The boy's request is not unreasonable. I will order our occult crime analysts to search for it. How could the arm just have been vanished from the crime scene? It just might be the clue I need to give me the upper hand over Barnum. The court considers the whereabouts of the arm irrelevant to this trial. Mr. Wright, make sure that you limit your interrogation to relevant matters. Yes, Your Honor. Now continue with the interrogation. We had a sequence.
Hold it!
But I didn't catch the other voice.
No way!
Hang on! Objection! Objection!
It's you.
Hang on!
Mister, do you have something you'd like to share with us? Mr. Amir. Mr. Amir, punching back to you. Punching back the first to you, Bluey. The likes of you ought to show some respect for a future man of wealth such as me. What is that music change? You seem to be looking ahead to a future full of newly gained riches. I can look wherever I bleed and please. Anyway, why are you looking at me like that? I don't know about the golden blocks, right arm. Nice unibrow. Excuse me, Mr. Wright. What is it, Espela? I may be wrong, but there's something about that man. Wouldn't you say he looks suspicious? It's not just you. Everything about him is so shady it makes me want to double check my pockets. Mr. Emir, stop pretending you don't know anything about the victim's missing arm.
Pretending? I told you I know nothing. Nada. Zero. Nil. I ain't seen it or heard about it or put it in my pocket.
How deep would his pockets have to be? He'd have to have some durable clothes. Put it in your pocket?
It wasn't me, honest. Seriously, I got nothing to do with it.
Objection!
Who?
Mia! You lying, cheating, good for nothing! You tried to deceive me!
Order! Order! Who is that person? You want to know who I am? I'm Price the pawnbroker. And this man is a shameless cheating bum. He had the nerve to lie to me. What did he lie to you about? I'll tell you. On the day of the crime, Emir came to my shop. He waltzed up to me saying he'd got his hands on a superb work of art, rare as gold dust. I think I know where this is going. Emir is an arms dealer. That work of art, could it be? I've got it right here. Just like I thought. That's... Oh my. Professor! It's the professor's arm! It's pure gold, exquisitely crafted. It was entitled, Towards Tomorrow or something like that. I'd never seen a piece of gold so fine before, and so suspecting nothing, I paid that rascal a rather handsome sum. Who would have thought? And what am I hearing now? That it was a human arm, no less. You, sir, are a monster. You're as bad as a witch's familiar yourself.
I didn't know it was his arm, I swear. And I saw it, and it was already like that.
What do you mean?
I was lost to the scene, and it caught my eye right away. A golden arm, pointing up in the ceiling with such optimism and authority. I thought it looks like it's showing me the way to a better, brighter, richer tomorrow.
Oh, not a more technologically advanced tomorrow. And also scientifically advanced. For the betterment of humanity.
I mean, it was a work of art, a precious one at that.
Art, the dark arts, alright. And then it found its way into your pocket and you pawned it. You mounted it on a crude stand, gave it a polder title, and passed it off as some kind of a sculpture. His arm got passed off as an artifact. He's an archaeologist. Wait, did he say anything? I might have accidentally pressed it. Oh, was that just the gulping noise? Don't try and look away from the truth now!
Darn it! I can look wherever I darn please. I look away from the facts and forward to the future. Always look on the bright side.
That poison bottle reminded me. Apparently. Mm, That's it. What is it called? Pufferfish. Yeah. Pufferfish fins sometimes get put in sake. It's like a specialty.
It's a mere punching box motto.
Where were we now? Ah, yes. The victim's arm has now been successfully reattached by one of our masterful craftsmen. Now, if only revival magic was allowed, or some kind of restoration, yeah. Knights of the Court, you may resume the Inquisition. At least one thing's clear now. As everyone can see, the victim definitely wasn't holding a knife. Oh dearie me, it seems I may have been mistaken after all. When you think about it, the victim had already been turned to gold when we entered the room. According to the witnesses' testimonies, that was the case, yes. Well then, I'm sure you'll concede that it was easy to mistake that glittering pointing finger for a knife. Indeed, the victim's finger has a glint to it, resembling that of a sword's edge. Such a sense of power and intensity. It's enough to send a shiver down the spine of anyone being pointed at. No puzzle is a match for the power of the professor's pointing finger. I guess no one remembers I'm known for pointing like that too. I think your pointing finger makes quite an impression too, Mr. Wright. She's just taking pity on me. Is that all you had to say, Sir Blue Knight? Huh? As I said before, whether the victim had a knife or not is completely irrelevant. But we're helping Luke clear his head.
Yeah, what he said. You better apologize to me now. Badgering me for no reason like that.
Is that all there is to it? Or could that arm hold some other clues? We've come this far. Maybe there's something else you could ask about? She's right. I need to ask some more questions. Well then, Mr. Amir. Perhaps you could tell me one more thing about that arm. When or where? Money is irrelevant right now. Maybe someone moved the statue? Can you tell me when you found the arm?
I told you before. It was when I entered that room. It really kinda stood right out, you see. Glittering on the floor like that. I couldn't miss it.
And yet no one else noticed it. How do you explain that?
I guess they must have been looking at the golden head guy when he fell down. I was the last to enter the room, so I noticed the arm before the rest.
And as soon as you noticed it, you slipped it into your pocket like a common thief? And you're strong. Maybe he's hiding stuff inside. Hey, maybe that's not just a big belly, maybe he's hiding some more root in his coat. This is no laughing matter, witness. Well, Mr. Wright, maybe he knows something else we could use. You found the arm on the floor pointing upwards, you said? That must have been a weird fall. Probably some bouncing.
Man, I did. Finders keepers, I say. I was pointing straight up at the ceiling.
The arm somehow happened to fall down in such a way that it landed upright. What are the odds of that? Actually, that reminds me of a puzzle. Now, if you could just show us on this floor plan here. I'd like to know the exact spot where you found the victim's arm.
Sure, I remember that well. It was right there.
Yes. That's where you would expect it to have fallen. Really? Really? How? He was pointing the other way. Now, if that's where it was, then something's definitely not right. If you keep looking at that sketch so intensely, you shall burn a hole in it. Or perhaps you're going to claim there's a contradiction in it somewhere. This arm is the final clue left by the professor. Even after turning to gold, he was pointing out something important, namely the key to solving this case. Well, Defender, do you see any problems in the locations as marked on the sketch? Of course there is a problem! Psh, and where would that be precisely? The professor's arm has armed me with some vital evidence. Its location leads to a huge contradiction. In that case, why don't you enlighten us and show us this so-called contradiction? What contradiction does the victim's arm create? I don't know. That he was pointing this way? And the lady saw it. But how do I show that?
Got it!
The contradiction is right here. What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? Oh, this is wrong, isn't it? I believe that was a definitive proof that there is a contradiction here. Not in the sketch, but rather in the score. I can't even present a person here.
Got it!
Is the arm the contradiction now?
Got it.
Oh, this was right. This is not so much a contradiction, it's merely an oddity. An oddity reminiscent of yourself, foolish Blue Knight. I'm sure if you knocked Mr. Layton's statue down 100 times, his arm would end up like that at least once. Knowing the professor, I bet it would happen. Okay, I get it. My mistake? We appear to be looking away. I don't get it.
Got it.
Notice the arm before the rest of the body. What else? Oh, it looks like he's pointing to the stuff, but then he would have to be standing here. Or not. Maybe pointing at the ceiling?
Got it.
The contradiction is right here. And this is the witch's scepter? Let's go over the order of events as per the witnesses' testimonies. First, the witch cast a spell on the professor, turning him to gold. When all of you rushed to the crime scene, that golden statue fell down, making a loud noise. Next, the witch dropped the scepter. What are you getting at, Sir Blue Knight? All witnesses agree with this order of events. That's right, they all agree that's how it happened. But then there's the arm. Well, what about it? Spit it out. Let's assume that Maya was the witch. Now, look at the sketch again. The witch dropped the scepter after having turned the professor into gold. The scepter tumbled along the floor. And was found here, as asserted by the prosecution. It would have knocked the arm... No, it would have hit the arm. And they got stuck there maybe, or knocked it over. However, that would be impossible. There's no way it could have been there. Oh, I see it now. The arm. It was... I'm glad you seem to have noticed. The victim's arm was on the floor right here, standing on its end. Therefore, the scepter couldn't possibly have fallen that way. Ergo, it couldn't have been the defendant who dropped the scepter. In other words, Maya is not a witch. All Order! 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 How can this be? The Inquisition's reasoning has been proven invalid through just one single piece of unusual evidence. Call it Layton's magical touch. The professor sacrificed his arm to leave us just the evidence needed to turn this thing around. That was amazing, Mr. Wright. Professor,
Objection!
an admirable deduction, Sir Blue Knight, that I cannot deny. Even if we are to assume your reasoning is correct, and that girl in the cage is not a witch. Even if. In the many trials I have attended, I have become well versed in certain aspects of magic. I am all too aware of its potential to confuse people, befuddle their minds, and make their memories hazy. No one can resist such a maddening influence. What are you trying to say, Inquisitor? The scepter could not have tumbled across the floor if the arm were in its way. However, can we be sure that it is where the arm was? Are all witnesses able to confirm its location at the time?
Objection!
We've heard what they had to say several times now. They agreed that the scepter fell after the victim fell over.
Objection!
And yet, no one actually saw the scepter being dropped. Witnesses, think back to that incident once more. Did the golden statue fall over first, or did the staff fall before? Think carefully about what you have seen and heard. Everything hinges on your testimonies. May your words guide us to the truth and decide the fate of this caged witch. Oh. I was about to get ready to leave, but it seems there is need for further questioning. Testify once more, witnesses. Tell us of the golden statue and the Thalia Magica.
I was only focusing on the professor, so I don't remember much else.
And no, I got there last. Besides, that thing was glinting and glittering away, so I couldn't see much else. You walked right past the body. Bewitched by love or beloved by a witch, a poor calf knows not which is which. Dear me, I remember. How obvious it seems now. The staff was dropped before the statue fell over. Whoa, wait a minute. What you all said just now is totally different from your previous testimonies. Sir Blue Knight, you are starting to notice it now, aren't you? Yeah, that the witnesses are inconsistent. That is the way of magic. Such is the effect this black art tends to have upon those who witness it. The witnesses are not lying, but simply having trouble remembering the truth. What a convenient excuse. Confronted with magic, their brains turn to mush, huh? Ever since our ancestors drank from the fountains of wisdom and obtained the capacity for reason, witchcraft has been the one thing to remain incomprehensible, even to the most intelligent of us. Nevertheless, the onus is on us to stand up against magic and pass judgment on these witches. And so here we are, doing battle with the weapons of the wise, words. With words we shall pass judgment upon this supposed witch. Defender, you may begin your interrogation and help us arrive at the truth.
Hold it!
Look, You said before that you heard the scepter fall to the floor. And that was after the professor fell over. I thought so. I thought so before, but now... The more I think about it, the less certain I am that I actually heard it. That's what being interrogated does to you. How could I have been paying attention to anything else when the professor was... when he was... My memories of everything else are too fuzzy. I guess Luke was too shocked to take in his surroundings and notice anything else. I doubt I'll get any more information out of him for now. I'm sorry, Luke. I understand how hard this is for you. Let's move on to the next witness.
Hold it!
And that thing would be...
The arm of the shiny gent next to you, Bluey.
Poor Professor Layton. More valued now than ever before. And you didn't notice the scepter on the floor?
You know, I wasn't even looking at the floor. My eyes are kinda glued to the new source of income. If anything, the man looked up at the ceiling, since that's where he was pointing. Finders keepers, into me pocket it once.
Someone arrest this guy, please.
Hold it!
Would you mind translating your song into plain speech? I shall simplify it once more, just for you, esteemed knight of the court. First of all, let's talk about love. It's a pretty neat slang term for love. Cover is a slang for a chip, you see. Then we have the word witch, and its homophone witch. Ah, right. Next, we have the delightful consonants of beloved and bewitched. It is ultimately a song without confusion. I'm confused. To be honest, there's nothing more to it. It is merely an artistic expression of my feelings. So, it's got nothing to do with this case, does it? Or are you gonna introduce us to your girlfriend? I am a well of melodious words and poetic music. That is my only claim.
Oh dearie!
Oh, what could my peerless partner Cracker be thinking about now? I wonder. Perhaps I should sing a song about it. No, please, that's fine. I don't believe another song will be necessary. Let us move on.
Hold it!
But you haven't said anything about that until now. Well, that couldn't have been helped. How so? She's plotting. Now, everyone, listen well. Pencils in hand, be sure to take notes. Miss Primestone's lesson number 4. Memories are not always pretty. And not always reliable. They are controlled by emotions. Some things are better forgotten. Trying to remember them only leads to trouble. This will be in the exam. You are saying that the victim fell over and his arm broke off after the scepter was dropped, are you not? Correct. Well done. And so the contradiction is no more.
Objection!
But that's inconsistent with all the previous testimonies.
Objection!
You're quick to forget what I have told you, Sir Blue Knight. The witnesses are not lying. They are merely having troubles remembering the truth. Darklaw. She's manipulating people's memories, isn't she? We must do our utmost to find the truth within what they say. It's no use. These guys aren't making any sense. What Inquisitor Barnum said must be true. They've been confused by magic. The speller. We always try to make sense of what we see. So when what we see makes no sense, we lose track of what's real. I guess that makes cross-examination a little pointless. At least when everyone here believes it's so easy to get confused by magic. Well, we need to do something, or else Maya will be done for. I'll listen to... Yeah.
Hold it!
Or does it read cove? Still weird that it's it's slang for a dude. I think it was this guy. Sounded like a man.
Hang on!
Mr. Emir, you seem to be pondering something very deeply.
You caught me unawares there, Bluey.
Did something in Mr. Birdley's statement catch your attention just now?
Nothing in particular. I was just thinking. That bird song really got to me. I kinda feel it in my heart.
I appreciate your appreciation of my art. I'm trying to rhyme now.
I know, I meant to ask you something. Why don't you become a private bard? You could sing all about the heroic life of Emir Punching Bong first.
I could gladly sing of your adventures if it pleases you, kind sir.
That's exactly what I want. Show me what you got.
Very well, as per your request. Oh, Grand Emir Punching Bong the First, will new fortune quench your thirst? Having bravely filched the golden arm, now you've duped the pawn shop man. That didn't even rhyme. I hope my song was to your liking, sir.
Oh, yeah, very poetic.
Your drinking manner is quite inspiring, but whatever is that skull bottle hiding? So we've learned nothing useful at all. Just that Emir has questionable taste in music. Sometimes it is best not to probe too deeply, Sir Blue Knight. Well then, let us just pretend we heard none of that and proceed with the interrogation.
Hold it!
Not yet?
No way!
I think that was Luke.
Hang on!
Luke, would you like to say something? I think that Burp even had the lady blips, but maybe the blips are... Maybe it's just the parrot that always has lady blips. Or just high-pitch the blips. Oh, sorry. Guess I spaced out a bit. What is it, Mr. Wright? You seem to be thinking pretty hardly about something during Mr. Birdley's song testimony just now. Is there something you would like to share with us?
Well, I've been thinking about what Mr. Barnum said a while ago.
What was that exactly?
That humans who witness magic become confused and lose sight of what's real.
Humans.
And they end up not knowing what actually happened. Well, I was thinking Mr. Barnum might be right. And then it occurred to me that there might be a way. I mean, we do have with us a witness who isn't human.
Bird interrogation!
Oh dear me.
The situation seems oddly familiar.
I asked him earlier if he remembers the events clearly or not. He said he has a memory better than an elephant and remembers everything perfectly well.
Ah, that's right. I almost forgot. Luke can talk to animals.
Mr. Wright, I know it sounds crazy, but please let me try. Let me ask Cracker to testify. Oh dear me.
Should I? Heck yes! Oh, I skipped too much. If I make a mistake now, it will put me in a tight spot. Defender, are you still with us? This is not the time nor place for daydreaming. What do you intend to do? It looks as though you've exhausted all means for a counterattack. Sir Knight in Blue, is it not time you drop your sword? If you have no further questions for the witnesses, Defender, I will consider our interrogation finished. What will it be then? Are we finished here? I've got zero time to think it over. Better make a choice now. Your Honor, the defense would like to summon a new witness. A new witness, you say? Who do you have in mind? It's a witness you all know, by the name of Mr. Cracker. Mr. Cracker? Is it one of your baking co-workers? The wrong voice again. I know no man by that name.
Mr. Cracker.
The defense summons its new witness, Mr. Cracker the Parrot. Parrot as a witness?
Objection!
This is the witch's court. Joking around will be considered contempt of court.
Objection!
Mr. Cracker witnessed the crime. He saw it happen, and he heard it too. He's as valid a witness as the others.
Objection!
No. That bird is nothing but a pet animal. Referring to it as Mr. will not change that.
Objection!
Humans are confused by magic to the extent that they lose sight of what's real. That's what you yourself said, Inquisitor Zachariah F. Barnum.
Objection!
Calling me my full name does not help justify such brash foolishness. The Inquisition is against interrogating a parrot. By the way, kind sirs, who was that? I suppose you should know that my dear companion never forgets a sound he hears. He remembers everything he hears, huh? It's definitely worth asking Cracker to testify. The court sees the situation as follows. The witnesses' testimonies do not hold together. In fact, they are as erratic as that bird's song. I cannot see this trial getting any more confusing. Very well, the defense may summon this avian witness. Can you believe it? What's up with Mr. Blue Suit? Summoning a parrot as a witness? Summoning? Does he mean like how the familiar was summoned? By hook or by crook, I'll do whatever I can to save Maya. Be it summoning a parrot or a familiar, whatever it takes. Within the boundaries of the law, of course. Alright. Witness, state your name.
Objection!
Not so fast. I hardly even know where to begin, but... First of all... What's the matter with that boy looking so pleased with himself? He looks like the cat that got the cream. Ah, that would be me, wouldn't it? Don't mind me. Just think of me as a perch for a cracker, that's all. And just what is the purpose of questioning a bird? A parrot may be able to repeat what others say, but it cannot talk on its own. Thinking about where to say...
Objection!
It's precisely because Cracker doesn't talk in his own words that he's certain to tell us the truth. What? Cracker remembers every sound he hears, even just the ones with absolute perfection. So, let's have him testify exactly what he heard. You know what? I'll be leaving you off on a cliffhanger here. See you next time.